Hey guys, it's Rob. Part 2 of how I gained my testimony in the church. Flashback, I've got the Book of Mormon. I've been reading it all year. And so, how did I continue to gain a testimony? Well, I read Moroni, chapter 10. And in that book, there's a challenge to pray to your Heavenly Father and to ask if what's in this book is true. And that's what I did. And that was probably the first time I prayed to my Heavenly Father with the expectations to receive an answer to a prayer. And at this time, I'd been 4 months reading the Book of Mormon every day, going to church every Sunday, mutual every Wednesday. I'd stop cussing. I'd really try to be what I thought was a good kid in the church. So I received an answer immediately, and I just broke down into tears right there at my bedside. And I knew beyond a shadow of doubt that the church was true. And there was no way for me to ever deny that. So that's when I knew I had to join the church. Unfortunately, I was 17. My dad didn't want me to have anything to do with the church, and he told me I could not get baptized until I was 18. I moved from California to Connecticut at the end of June 1995, and the difference from Connecticut to Connecticut, besides weather, was drastic as far as everybody knew LDS too. I didn't know anybody. I didn't know where a church meeting house was. Nothing. And interesting stories come from this. When we were registering me for school, for high school, my senior year, we went to the wrong school. Where we lived at the time in Stanford, the border for the two public high schools in town was right on the street that I lived on, and we were on the other side of the border. So, which was weird because the school that they were trying to enroll me in, both my parents graduated from, a lot of my family graduated from there, and it was only 2 blocks away. The other school was about 2-3 miles away, so I had to take the bus to school, something I wasn't used to at all. So we drove up, and the funny thing was my dad hadn't lived in Connecticut and Stanford in so long, he didn't know about this other school. He didn't even know where it was. So when we drove to this new school, we passed a building that looked kind of familiar to me, and then I saw a little box, and on the box on the wall it said The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. It's a font that I will never be able not to recognize. So I'm like, oh, there's a church, but I didn't know anybody who went there, so it wasn't that helpful at first. So I started going to school. I'm still reading my scriptures. I'm writing my friends, but I'm not progressing in the church, being able to get baptized. So I decided one day to take a walk. I went to the public library, and I left, and there's a McDonald's right across the street. And when I looked across the street, I saw these 2 white guys in suits on bikes. And I was like, no, it can't be. Then I saw a little black name badge right around there on their coats. So I scream as loud as I can, missionaries! Which out east doesn't happen a lot. And I forgot I was black. And I was 6 feet tall. And I was running at them through traffic. It was a one-way street, and the light was green. I was still just booking it across the street like I didn't care. And I ran up to them, and I shook their hands. I said, hi, Rob Steely. I live right up the street. I have my own Book of Mormon in case you need to give me you teach me all the discussion so I can get baptized. And so they calmed down and didn't run. Like, if I paused for 1 second, they would have jumped on their bikes and rode away. It was hilarious. That's the day I met Elder Jones and Elder Bala. Jones was from Snowflake, Arizona. Elder Bala was from England. So it was weird to have him teach me, because his American English was terrible. So, foreigners. Anyway, So I said, you can come to my house. And my dad still was against me joining the church or even investigating. At the time, my grandmother was in a home, so I snuck the missionaries in for like 2 months. It's pretty fantastic. And then one day they came early, which is weird. It's not Mormon, because Mormon's always late. They came in and ran into my dad, and we had to tell him everything. And he was kind of upset, but he's like, well, he's thinking about it till he's 18. And my birthday wasn't for another like 11 months. So it was a little defeated, but I was like, we're going to keep going and we're going to hope for the best. So got all 6 discussions in, and we decided to try something drastic to help my dad change his mind. And that's the third part of my 3-part conversion. This is part 2. Deuces to you. Part 3 will be coming up very soon. Thanks for being patient. Share this with those who are questioning or wondering or have questions, or for yourself, just to strengthen yourself to know that the church is true. Later.